people are sick and tired of this two-tier system of justice. And guys, I have to tell you, people in this country understand it. I was on a plane. I was on a commercial flight when this whole indictment broke. People were coming up to me, giving me hugs. When this whole indictment broke, people were coming up to me, giving me hugs.
You know, I really hate to say this, folks, as you can tell by the size of the smile on my face, but it doesn't look like Eric Trump is taking the news of his father being criminally indicted too well. He's been making his rounds on all the usual right-wing networks, begging for sympathy and money for his father. He's also now claiming that he was on a commercial flight when he heard the news that his father was going to be criminally indicted, and that everybody in the plane just randomly started giving him hugs. Now, needless to say, this is incredibly hard for me to imagine for many reasons, but mainly because nobody on earth likes Eric Trump, not even his father. Another reason is it doesn't seem like Eric's been keeping his story straight very well on this whole little media tour he's been on. Now, either Eric is lying and got his shitty, pathetic, pre-written talking points all messed up depending on what network he was on, or he just has an acetaminophen addiction that nobody in the world knows about. Here he is on Newsmax with Greg Kelly, not only claiming that New York City has a homelessness problem, whatever the hell that is, I'm assuming he meant to say homelessness, but also claiming that he went to a Duane Reade to buy Advil and was unable to, without the assistance from somebody at the store.
Homelessness is through the roof. I went into Duane Reade the other day, and literally you can't buy Advil in Duane Reade without having somebody come up with a key and unlock, those little plastic things that you pick up. Because there's so much looting in the city. I mean, the city is going to hell.
And here he is with Sean Hannity trying the exact same talking point. Well, almost the exact same talking point, only this time it was a CVS he went into when he was trying to buy Tylenol. You try to figure it out, who knows? Because for me it's clear he's just saying this shit to say it, because if you went into an actual establishment and tried to buy an actual product, you would remember the actual establishment and the actual product that you were trying to buy.
And this is a city, I spent a lot of time in Europe, that is falling apart. I went into literally CVS the other day, and you can't buy Tylenol because it's locked behind these glass counters because there's so much theft and there's so much looting, there's so much homelessness and crime, but yet their attention is going after Donald Trump.
I don't know. Maybe these stores all have this locked up now because they heard Eric Trump's going around to every store in New York City trying to buy up all the acetaminophen. Pretty soon you're just going to have to show an ID that says you're not Eric Trump in order to be able to get Tylenol or Advil. And he wasn't even done there. I guess he felt the need to go back on Fox News because he bungled it so hard on Hannity, or maybe he bungled it on Newsmax. I don't know. Whichever one he bungled it on, he felt it necessary to go back on Fox News and correct himself.
I said this the other night. You literally can't walk into a Duane Reade and buy Advil because everything's locked up behind plastic because there's so much looting, there's so much crime. Homelessness is through the roof.
Now, if you were hearing all this, you'd think it would be enough for a reasonably minded person to suspect that there might not be any defense for his father and the actions that he did, because all he can talk about is what's going on in New York City and messing up lines about which store he went to and what fucking Advil or Tylenol he was getting. I mean, come on. Why would he be wasting his time on all these channels talking about this nonsense if there was an actual defense, if there was an actual reason to not want to indict Donald Trump? And unfortunately, that was just the tip of the iceberg for this sicko. I mean, here he is once again proving that the depravity and the scare tactics of the sycophantic domestic terrorists known as MAGA Republicans knows no bounds. It will say anything, they will do anything, no matter how depraved it is, as long as it takes the focus off of Donald Trump and his criminality.
Little girls are getting shot in Times Square. Women are being thrown in front of subway trains. And this has been the priority of the Manhattan DA's office for 6 years, is going after Donald Trump.
I mean, just absolutely disgusting stuff coming from the son of the ex-president of the United States about arguably one of the most important cities in our country. I mean, who even thinks of shit like that? I mean, I guess I understand what he thinks he's doing. I guess he thinks he's trying to make everybody believe that New York is some hugely dangerous place. But does he not see that this does not make what your father did not illegal? I mean, are we supposed to just let him go because that heinous acts are committed, especially in a large city like New York City, every day? Are we supposed to let all the criminals go because we can't lock all the criminals up? I just really don't see what the whataboutisms and finger pointing is doing for his defense of his father. I really don't. But then again, logic, facts, and reasoning don't really play a big part in these people's mindset. So here he is upset at the audacity, the gall that these elected officials would have to run to campaign on the fact that they were going to lock up criminals, even specific criminals that have committed really blatant crimes over a really long period of time.
Guys, this was their plan the entire time. They're not bashful about it. They've admitted it. Alvin Bragg is out there on TV. He's out there in videos saying, I've gone after Trump 100 times. I went after his administration. I went after his family. You have other prosecutors in New York, Letitia James, who I'm going to take him down. I'm going to sue the hell out of him. They did this while they campaigned. This isn't after the fact when they, knew something or thought they knew something. This is during a campaign where they're not actually sitting in the seat, where they have no inside information, where they have no relevant facts. And they campaigned and fundraised off of going after my father and taking him down. Now,
and here's Eric, I think, perfectly demonstrating the tactic that Donald Trump intended to deploy by announcing his run for presidency so early on. They are desperately trying to get you to believe that the indictment only came because of the announcement of Donald Trump to run, when in reality, the announcement of Donald Trump to run only came because of his knowledge of the indictments coming. I mean, they're trying to make it seem like we are like days away from this election. I mean, we haven't had the goddamn primary yet.
And so on the eve of my father, obviously just running for president, just announcing his candidacy again, when he's up by 35% in the polls, this is how they take him out. Guys, this is a coordinated effort between attorney generals, district attorneys from various different states. They couldn't get him through the executive branch. They tried damn hard. We all know that. We saw that with impeachment 1 and impeachment 2 and all the other hoaxes. So guess what? They turned to a state level. They turned to these weaponized prosecutors funded by George Soros to go after him and his family, and it's a disgrace to this country.
And obviously no Fox News clip would be complete without mentioning Hunter Biden. Here he is ranting and raving on daytime television about hookers, cocaine, Barron's sock drawer. You even have the Fox host chiming in mad that they didn't raid Hunter's bedroom. Check this clip out.
I was Hunter Biden, I'd be in jail for the rest of my life. I can tell you, Rachel, if you go on my laptop right now, you'll find pictures of Laura, my kids. There's going to be no hookers. There's going to be no cocaine. There's going to be no illegal drugs. It's going to be nice pictures of my 2 beautiful young children. But yet I'm the guy that they're coming after, while Hunter Biden sells finger paintings, for $500,000 to random people all over the world who want, political influence.
They raided Barron's bedroom, and they still haven't gone into Hunter's.
Yeah, I think about that. A beautiful 15-year-old kid who adores soccer. They raid his sock drawer. Yet a guy who has laptops. I mean,
but a guy who's got laptops. Man, is this guy just a whiny, pathetic traitor or what? And here he is with just a ridiculous statement that Vladimir Putin would somehow be impressed with the steps that the Democrats have taken over the last 6 or 7 years. And also throwing in the all too familiar fascist tactic now of claiming that this country is somehow going to be over with and cease to exist if they do not do something to take it back, which is a great example of stochastic terrorism as well, which is basically telling his supporters, if nothing is done about it, that they should very much take it into their own hands to see that something does.
Literally turning into a banana republic. I mean, I think Putin would be impressed by some of the things that the Democrats have done over the last 6 years. And again, it's got to stop. And it's why we fight. Believe me, it's hard to go out there and fight every single day.
Every single day.
Take arrows every single day as a family, but we'll never back down from the fight because honestly, if we don't take back this country, we're not going to have a country. We're going to be speaking Mandarin, and I'm joking when I say that, but in a certain way, not really. It's awfully scary what's happening out there, and you guys have covered it better than anybody.
At least Eric realized how dumb he sounded by claiming we're all going to somehow be speaking Mandarin if nothing was done or if his father is going to be held accountable. And immediately the Fox News host doubled down on it by saying that she was not. But the best part about this whole thing for me was when the Fox News host actually tried reading one of Donald Trump's True Social posts as if it was some legitimate statement with some reason and logic behind it. I mean, this is just beautiful.
I think we have some insight into your father's belief about his prospect for a fair trial in New York. He put this out on Truth Social last night. He said, the judge, quote, assigned to my witch hunt case, a case that has never been charged before, hates me. His name is Juan Manuel Marchand. He was handpicked by Bragg and the prosecutors, and the same person who railroaded my 75-year-old former CFO, Alan Weisselberg, into taking a plea, pled guilty, even if you're not, 90 days, fight us in court, 10 years, life in jail. I think he means life because he's 90. He strong-armed Alan, which the judge is not allowed to do, and treated my companies, which didn't plead, viciously, appealing.
I love how it doesn't matter who reads that guy's True Social post. You just sound like an absolute lunatic. And are almost forced to take on the talking style of Donald Trump. Also the fact that they're trying to draw insights from a statement like that and not realizing that anybody, especially an ex-president of the United States that even spoke like that, probably has some issues going on upstairs, let's say. But hey, this is just the tip of the iceberg, just the beginning of the legal troubles that is to come for Donald Trump. So if you're not already, make sure you subscribe here to the MeidasTouch Network so you can get all the news, all the latest and greatest coming out of this situation. And we can celebrate together as we all head down this path of holding these people accountable. Let's go.
Lock him up! Indictment season is upon us. Celebrate with the new Indictment season t-shirt and v-neck exclusively at store.meidastouch.com.